Hey folks, welcome to today's model building workshop. Today we're going to add some decals to this Panzer II that we've been working on for a little while now. Now the decal sheet is right here and it has a lot of options, and as you can see from the sheet here, there was a lot of different color schemes to paint the Panzer II. I went with an Africa brown color, like so. Now we built a lot of these tank models. I think I've shown you before, for example, in the model building workshop at the library. So we've done pretty much everything on this decal sheet at one time or another. So we've done a lot. So today I'm going to vary this up a bit. And I've got a Tamiya decal sheet here, which they sell these different sheets so you can make some variations to your models. Got another set of decals here from, I guess, Echelon. And that's another set just for North Africa. So, give you some examples of what's in this set. That's if you really, want some options and you build a lot of stuff. So, I'm also working out of this book today, which is Panzer Colors 2 by Bruce Culver. He has a series of these from Squadron Signal Publications. There's about, let me see, I think there's 3 to the series. It's red, yellow, and there's a green one. So the red one talks about the painting of German armored vehicles. The yellow one here, this is about unit markings. So, and I'm working off this page here, which is dealing with the 15th Panzer Division, which was part of the Africa Corps that was fighting the Sahara Desert during World War II. That's what I'm working on. I'm going to try to do the one at the bottom here, this Panzer II down here, something similar. Give you another example of what this book has in it. So what's nice about this series is that you can get some good ideas of what the different vehicles would have looked like with all their markings and painting and so forth. And if you really get into this kind of thing, it's a nice set to have. The green book in this series deals with like special units, like special artillery units, the SS and so forth. But anyway, so I'm going to try to get working on creating this one here on the 15th, which would have been in Libya during World War II. Okay. So I need the number 8. And this has a set of numbers on it. And let's see what happens. Because the model came with this sheet for decal placement, and there's lots of different options here. Unfortunately, this is all in Japanese, which might be what's happening now with this kit. And that's kind of a disappointment. I'm going to put the decal in the water and let that sit for a little bit. So they don't really, because it's in Japanese, they don't really explain what these are. So we have the 18th Panzer Division, which did river crossings, and that's why it's got this skull over the water emblem. The Berlin Bear here was part of the 3rd Panzer Division. The double X's with the 6th. This triangle design, which I'll be using here, is for the 15th. This one here is for the 3rd, which goes with that one. This is the 18th symbol, which goes with that one. This is the 21st, which is also in North Africa. And the palm tree design was for the Africa Corps groups. And you can see there's several different variations there, which are all quite interesting, but as I said, we've kind of worked our way through those in the model building workshop, so I'm looking for something different today. All right. Let's fish this decal out. Come on. All right, so this is number 8 for 8th Company. That's going to slide off pretty nicely. Yes, it does. It's good when they behave. Let's see what the placement is on that. Right about there where I have it. Try to make sure it's straight can be challenging. Yeah, it's hard to see to get a all right, there's 8. Sometimes to make the decals go on a little better, you know, it's not necessary, but if you have the money and you're interested in doing this, you can, after you spray the, in this case I spray painted this tank in this Tamiya spray paint AS15, this tan color, and then you could go over it after that dries really well. You can go over it with a gloss coat to give it a bit of a shine, so that when you put the decals on, because sometimes the decals can have a shiny finish to the decal, especially areas that are clear, and you can kind of see that shine. They refer to it as silvering. It gives this weird shiny silver look around the decal, so that you can, when you look at it, you know that's a decal. To make the decal blend in better, they tend to recommend that you can gloss the model first. I haven't found that always to be true, but something to think about. So I'm going to do the palm tree design, using the kit decals for that one. That goes next to the 8 up here. Some model kits have different variations for that palm tree design, because technically the Africa Corps palm tree is it's a palm tree with the swastika on it. Yeah, I mean, it was what was going on at the period, and that's what the enemy was using. Some kits do not have the swastika, so that's something you can think about, or you can cut the swastika out, which makes total sense to me. But since I'm trying to do this in a historical way, no way am I endorsing any of that. And my relatives fought in World War II for the U.S., so one of which was captured by the Germans and did not have a particularly good time, shall we say, as a prisoner of the Germans. So okay. So that's one of those decisions you can make when you're building models, is, you know, how historically accurate do you really want them to be? Because, you know, we are dealing with an uncomfortable period in history. So I'm definitely not celebrating this, but it's, you know, it's certainly good to remember the past and know what happened. Anyway, so there's the palm tree design, which I'm not going to show you too closely because I don't want to endorse the emblem. So let's get some more of these number 8s on there. cut these out. It's a little awkward when you get a sheet this big, but it gives you lots of opportunities. So let's get that in there. All right, come on, start doing your thing. Get my fingers dry. I don't want to get any water on this. So I'm gonna get the other one ready. So there'll be 3/8 on this one because as I added the turret box on this, they would add the decal. Yeah, the numbers would be on the back box for better identification. So different armored units had different ways of putting numbers on their vehicles. So the 15th tended to make it rather simple. They just liked using company number. So it's just 8th company is all that is. And they might have had a smaller number somewhere else to indicate which particular tank that was in the unit. But generally what the Germans did is they had a 3-digit number. So it'd be, I think, company, platoon, and then the individual vehicle number. So if it's 123, it'd be 1st company, 2nd platoon, 3rd vehicle. So that's how their system worked for most of the war. Britain had a system where they used geometric shapes to denote which company it was. I can't remember off the top of my head, but I believe like 1st company was or A company would have been a triangle. B might have been a, whoops, this is actually, okay, hold on, that's a bit big of a decal for this. Well, maybe not. There might be a way of working that. No, turn that. Should have thought about that. This is a slightly large decal for this. All right, it will work. And I do have something that can help that out. I don't know if I've got it in front of me or not. As you can see, I've been working on many projects all at once. That's why this workbench is full of stuff. Need to clean that out, but I've been trying to get things rolling so you guys have plenty of stuff to watch. And in doing so, it's getting a little chaotic. Okay, so I have Solvaset, which is a decal setting solution. And since the 8 on the bottom here, a little bit of the decal is kind of hanging loosely, and I don't really want that because it could snag and make the whole decal fall off. So if you use this setting solution, it helps make the decals conform to rough shapes like that. But you gotta be careful because if you leave it on too long, it can make the decal shrivel. Yeah, there's always a catch, right? Supposed to help, but it can harm too. Yeah, makes sense, right? Anyway, so I'm gonna try to dab that with a little bit of water to get that to conform a little better, which it did. Okay. Yeah, you gotta be really careful. This is definitely going to shrivel up if I didn't get that just in time. Wow. All right, so there's the 8 on the back. I'm gonna get the 8 on this side. Oops, it's right here. So as you can see, you put the decal in the water for 30 seconds to a minute. These are pretty good decals. They're not taking long in the water. Some older models might require leaving it in the water for a while, more like a minute to 2 minutes. And it's good if the water's warm. You don't want it hot, and you don't want it stone cold either. That tends to help. You can see it tends to change. The paper starts to change color. Well, And this doesn't take long at all. Yeah, it's going to be a little hard to get at this side. Okay. Plunk. Let go. Oops. Spoke too soon about this number 8 in the back, because that's starting to curl up. Oh no. Come on. Don't go. Nah. Yeah. Spoke too soon on that. There was some damage to that. Nothing terrible. I may have to fix that with, make it look like it got just a little bit of battle damage or something to cover up that wrinkle at the bottom. That's a bit irritating. So move this one. See, this side of the turret's a little more complicated because you can see there's the 2 vision blocks there. So there's not as much room to work with all the decals going to be here. So I have to try to fit this stuff in. It is difficult to get a decal to conform over a shape like that. You can do it using the Salva set or other decal solutions like that, but as we've just seen how finicky that stuff is on this set of decals, I don't want to push my luck with that technique. So I may have to hang gear or something over that to make that, the bottom, if you could see at the bottom of the 8 there, wrinkled up. That's a little unpleasant. But there are ways to fix that. You can either chip the paint, look like it got damaged, add some rust maybe. Or another thing that was common for decals, for vehicles in the desert, is that they tended to be loaded with all kinds of gear, like canteens, water bottles, water containers, gas, etc. Because when you're out in the desert, you kind of need to bring whatever you've got with you. Because it's not a very pleasant environment to be working in. Okay, let me try the 15th Panzer Division emblem. Check that was on this. Yeah, it is. So some model kits oh, it's not even on this one, is it? No. This doesn't even give you the 15th at all. Okay, it only gives you the 21st. All right. So never mind that comment. Just going to say that the 15th, frequently the models will give you their decal in either white or black, but apparently they tended to be in red, which makes it look a little more interesting. These are tiny emblems. They're going to be harder to put on because of their size. So I may need a brush to help move those into place. We'll see. And then I have one more palm tree and then just the German national cross markings that will go on this. And then afterwards I'm going to do the touch-up paints, because you know the tires I have to paint, and the tools on the sides need to be painted. The muffler I want to get painted. I put the tracks on here. Gonna add some dust to it. There are different ways you can do that. They actually sell like little bottles of powder that you can just put on there, and it makes it look really dusty and messy. But I'm sure you can come up with other methods to do that. You can use paint sets like this one, Rust and Dust. You know, that's another way of doing things. The rust system's pretty interesting on this, because they even tell you how to create the rust patterns. This set, it's nice for that. Haven't done much with the dust on that, but the rust I've definitely had success with that. Okay, let's get these little guys. See what I mean? They're tiny, tiny, tiny. Woof. Come on. That's hard to work with. It's so small. Yeah, we're doing that. That's what I want. Yeah, there it is. All right, so see the red 15th Panzer Division triangle emblem? Hopefully that focused. Ouch. Yeah, I gotta clear some space. I'll get this other one on. And I'll probably stop there for today. I think that's enough. I think you get the idea of how this stuff works. Guys, I just got this decal to stick to my finger and not to the model. So this would have a few national crosses that would be on the sides of it. Come on. See what I mean? Sometimes you need a paintbrush to try to get that cooperating. Just difficult on a multi-shaped surface like this to figure out what's straight and level. I assume that is. I don't know. Yes, it's on that side too now. Well, you get the idea, right? So that's how the decaling goes. And I've got other projects where we'll be doing that too as well. I've got this airplane here that we've been working on. This has some very colorful decals that'll be going on that soon. Let me grab it. Yeah, it's going to have these really colorful emblems going on here. That's going to liven that right up. That's going to look really sharp with those emblems. Okay, I think that's going to be it for today's episode. So, happy modeling.